Hey, we've been question shy. Let's jump into a question.
Yeah, you want to jump into a question? I got some good questions.
I want to jump into a question.
Yeah. I'm scared the euphoria will go away and start to feel ... normal. I recently came out to my friends, and it was the best night of my life. We went out, and it was the first time I ever left my house fully dressed femme. It went so well. I've never felt this loved. I cannot put into words the amount of euphoria I felt that night. Feeling so great in the clothes I wore, hearing people call me by my name and preferred pronouns for the first time. I've been really depressed over the past few years, and the dopamine that gave me was just what I needed. However, this made me a bit scared of the future in a kind of weird way. I imagine as time passes and the more progress I make in my transition, these things will start to feel more normal or natural. Being called my name and pronouns and dressing femme will stop feeling special and just start feeling natural. That these things won't give me the euphoria they used to. Am I the only one, or does anyone else share this feeling? If you're already quite far in your transition, is this a thing you noticed?
Wow, is that hit home? I mean, in part, like, because, like, I mean, but out of the gates, I gotta say, question asker, like, congratulations on, like, having that be your best day, because, like, me coming out was not the best day. It's not the best day of my life, I'll tell you that. It was a very terrible day, but I'm really glad it worked out for you, and I'm glad you felt all those wonderful things, and you got all that love, and you got to do all that stuff, and, like, but like you, I felt the same way. I was like, this is so incredible and so amazing, and I never want to lose this magic, and I never want to lose this, and I must report, like, kind of sadly, yes, it does diminish. Like that initial first month, like first year even, of just being like amazement in that euphoria, it does diminish, it does fade. But I mean, a lot of that's up to you too. If you choose to hang on to it, like you can, and that's just like anything in life. Like, it's like you can get numb to anything and start taking things for granted. You only do that if you choose to. If you want to be lazy about it and start accepting things. But if you take a step back, and just breathe and like look around and like, it's, if you want to recapture the wonder of how amazing our existence is, like, all you have to do is like decide to do that.
Yeah.
It does diminish like a little bit. It does start to become normal after a while. But I mean, I've been on HRT for 4.5 years, and I'm still, every day, I'm just like, holy fuck, this is crazy. I think this is wild, and I love it.
Honestly, I think the key isn't the euphoria. The key is realizing that what you consider normal is going to be so much better. Like, your life's going to become normal, but it's not the normal you were doing before you started your transition. You've released all that stuff that's in your brain, that's hindering you, that's got you twisted, and you're being your true best self. And so my worst day as a trans person is still better than probably my best day before my transition. And so I think that's what it is like, you really get to look forward to redefine normal, and everything that you think defines you, all the things that make up your ego are imminently changeable, and you're at a crossroads now where you can become the person you want to be, and what your new normal is and who you are is changeable. And if you change it to something and you hate it, you can change it back to something else, or go back to where you were. So normal is going to be great because it's the new normal and it's not the old normal. Euphoria. Yeah. We all love euphoria. We all love moments of gender euphoria. Life isn't euphoria. Every moment of your life isn't going to be that. But also, as we mentioned earlier, realize that your life is new and embrace all those new things and embrace where you're headed. Embrace what the new normal is. Yeah, things are going to go back to normal, but they're not going to go back to where they were. And that's what's amazing about it.
Being trans is its own thing, like, and so what you're never going to be is cis, and you're always going to remember what life was like before you started HRT. You're never going to forget that, and you're going to carry that appreciation because you just started. So like, you don't have any idea quite yet just how much better it gets, because it just gets better and better. Like, the first year is really hard, but it's also amazing. Like so many things happen that you aren't going to be ready for, and you're going to get blindsided by all this crazy stuff, and your brain's going to change around, your emotions are going to run wild. But like, after a year, or two, like you start to get a handle on it, you get a new footing and you get new balance, and like, okay, like, and then now I can navigate this world, and it does start calming down. But that whole, like, does it get normal to, like, I don't appreciate it anymore? Well, I don't think so. It hasn't for me.
Yeah.
But that is fully up to you. That's a decision you decide. Like, if you decide to take it for granted and be like, oh, I deserve this. Like, blah, blah. If you want to be aristocratic and unappreciative, that's up to you. But the fact that you're even thinking that leads me to think
that's not going to be a problem.
like you already know that you don't want it to happen. I said the same thing to myself. I asked the same thing. It's like, I don't want this. I don't ever want to lose this magic. Like, I'm so appreciative. I'm so happy. I don't ever want to lose this feeling. And like, I didn't. I'm still very, very aware. Like, when I wake up in the morning, I'm like, holy fuck, yeah, this is incredible.
Yeah,
like every day. Every day.
That's one thing is, like, realize, I think if you really embrace it, I've had people tell me this, that, like, I'm magical, and it's because you embrace that and you never forget it. And then days when you are bad, just realize where you are compared to where you've been. I will say one last thing. You mentioned in this whole scenario, you talk about going out with your friends and doing your makeup and clothes, but you really don't talk about starting HRT. So if you are going to be starting HRT, there'll probably be some times where it's not going to be euphoric. Probably about a couple weeks after you start estrogen, you might not feel.
Yeah, you're gonna have a little episode. It happens to us all day.
Happens.
Mine was about 2.5, 3 weeks. How about yours?
Yeah, same.
Yeah, but then,
and I was going through an awful breakup at the time.
Period,
so
by the way, no one tells you that. That's your period.
We're the only ones who talk about it. The doctors never mention it.
That's getting your period. You will start getting a period, and that is what that is.
Oh my God. I hope that was helpful. I'm so proud of you. And like I said, it gives me so much hope when here we are in the middle of all the shit that's going on in this country, and still people are like, hey, I just started my transition. I'm just doing these things. I decided to do it. It's like, you're so brave, and you're so willing to go for your own happiness. And that isn't, you might not feel it, but you're an inspiration to someone who sees that. You're an inspiration to me. And there's another person who has the same feelings you do, who's scared, who's afraid, and they see you doing it, and you're going to inspire them to live their best life too. Every time the euphoria starts to wane, just realize there's someone out there who's being inspired to live their best life by you. That's amazing.
It's true.
Yeah.
That is like, it doesn't even take that long to, like, before you've got your own YouTube show.